Hello, greetings and welcome. I am Susan with Evenstar Institute, and I am here with Shalina Nicole, who's teaching a class beginning in January called A Diea-Tea for All Seasons. Shalina's background is in holistic herbal medicine, and she's here to tell us a little bit more about her class. So hello, Shalina, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks, Susan. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you with us today. We did speak a few minutes ago about you personally and your background, and now we're here to talk about the class, and I'm really excited about that.
Me too.
Good. So I noticed in your description that one of the things that you bring out in this class, A Deity for All Seasons, is how people can use tea to commune with the sacred. Can you talk a little bit more about that and what that means to you personally?
Yes, I'd love to. So I kind of consider myself a self-care evangelist. Like I think it's so important to take time for yourself and to, model that in the community that you take care of yourself. And what I like about tea and like taking a moment to have tea is that it's accessible and it's easy and inexpensive. And even if you have a crazy day and a crazy life, some people just have so much going on, you can take 5 minutes to just sit and reflect and like enjoy your first couple sips of tea. And that really can be a self-care moment and even a ritual if you think of it that way and if you consider it as that.
I love that. It's connecting an action, tea, making tea and
Mhm.
drinking tea, with the thought of I'm doing self care. And the combination of thought with action really puts into motion this momentum of pattern of self care, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And the smaller, the more frequent moments that we can have of acknowledging self care, and tea would allow us that more frequent moments because they're just 5 minutes or so. Is that how
Yes.
you approach it? Is that, am I
Yes, I feel
close?
like you've even added to that like train of thought. Yes, I
Well,
totally agree with that.
I love the self-care evangelist. It's like I think I'm going to start calling myself a self-care evangelist because it's so important. Anyway,
Yes.
right. So I noticed that so one of the things that you say in your description is that you teas can be formulated to invoke goddesses. And you mentioned specifically Persephone and Morta. So what does that mean to invoke goddesses? How does tea do that? And what do Persephone and Morta have to do with it?
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you asked that. And in fact, I think now this is going to surprise you. I may walk back and vote a little bit. And the reason why is because I've been really sitting with it and thinking about it. And I don't want to like misappropriate people's culture. I mean, because a lot of these deities, these goddesses, they still have devotees, people work with them and use them. And it's not necessarily about that. For me, it's more about the archetypes and the mythology and what we can learn. Like there's a vast culture out there of other feminine. I'm like really focused on the feminine characteristics, the goddesses that we can learn from um and apply when we're going through different seasons and different cycles of our life. And I marry it with herbs in the sense that teas are made out of herbs and herbs have all these beautiful properties, so they do different things in our bodies and with our emotions and with our mentality, and so you can kind of pair them up together and learn about herbs, learn about different characteristic of deities, and learn about yourself and how you can apply it to whatever's you know you're experiencing in your life.
Okay, so you just said you just used the word seasons in
Hmm.
association with cycles of life.
Yes.
So can you talk about that? Because that you kind of like just said that so naturally, but you associated those two. And I don't think that people necessarily understand seasons in association with where they are in life. So can you talk about that?
Yes. So for example, just physically, you can look around and say, hey, we're in this season of winter. And, what does that come with? But also you can think of it like metaphysically. So winter is usually can be a time of things are ending, of fallowness, of, rest and of kind of a death. So let's say you have a loss of a loved one, or a loss of a job and financial security, or a 2020 a loss of a lot of things. You know, what can you learn from different deities that are associated with loss or death or winter?
So when you say a deity for all seasons, the title
Hmm.
of the course, that seasons is very loosely interpreted, and it can mean a stage of life, a phase
Yeah.
that you're going through, something that you're experiencing, so that you can have a tea that can bring you joy and comfort and rest and peace during whatever you're
Yeah.
experiencing in your life.
Yes, that's precisely it. Whether it's the physical season that you're in or a life season.
Okay,
I
that's
think I
so
need to have
important.
you write the description of the class. This is
Well,
excellent.
well, but I wouldn't know unless I were asking you these questions, right? So we're working together here, and it's being recorded, so it's all here now.
Yes.
This is what synergy is, right here, live on camera.
I
Okay.
love it.
All right. Is there anything else that I haven't thought of that you would just like to mention about what's important about this class, what you love about this class, what people can expect? Just any final thoughts that you have that you'd like to share with people about a deity for all seasons?
Yes. So two things, and I think I already forgot the second one, but the first thing I want to say is I would say, like, regardless of your spiritual path, whether it's like Christianity and monotheism, or if you're atheist or pagan, it's really about connecting to the archetype of these deities and learning about them and how they can help you in your life, because that's just something that typically we're not like taught about in school. So I would say that's the first thing. And then the other thing, I really find that it's much easier for me to really connect with information and keep it when it's connected with other things. So as opposed to just learning about an herb, or just and its medicinal properties and what it does, and how it can help you, learning about an herb in connection to a goddess or a deity and certain characteristics, to me it cements the information in my head much better.
Yeah,
And so I think that's one of the why I think people would find it enjoyable. It's a combination of information.
that's fantastic. I love that. I love the association of information with something like a goddess. That's fantastic. I love it. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Shalina, we're going to all right. So if you are interested in Shalina's class, the way to find it is go to evenstarschalice.com/institute, then go to courses, and Shalina's class is right here, Deity for Every Season. It begins on Wednesdays on January 6th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. And to register, just click the register now button. And
And we're
there
gonna
you
have
go.
fun. That's the other thing. We're gonna have fun.
Always, always fun. That's fantastic. I love learning as fun. So, all right, Shalina, thank you so much for joining me and talking with me and sharing your heart and your information. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan.